All right, so here's lesson 3, make comparative inferences about populations. So we're still working with box plots, we're still making inferences using our data. We're going to talk more about the mean and what's called the IQR, the interquartile range. We're going to be comparing data sets, okay? So that's the objectives with this lesson. Okay, so first question, we're comparing populations. So we see Finn, he's asked the hours that these students spend on homework each week, and Jonah's done the same thing. Okay, so we look at our data, and what we want to do is we want to represent that data somehow. So one way that we can do it is through a box plot. We could also do a dot plot if we wanted to. We're going to do a box plot. So we do box plots. This is Finn's data set. This is Jonah's data set. What we notice, the very first thing we see, is that the median of Finn's set is less than the median of Jonah's set. So that means the middle number in Finn's set is less time than in Jonah's set. So that means Jonah's students at Jonah's school, spend more time doing homework. Okay. If we look a little bit further, look at the box for Finn. Okay, the box for Finn is wider than the box for Jonah, so that means there's more variability. Okay, it means it's spread out more. Okay, so therefore we can make these comments. We notice that the minimums are both 1. Notice how the box for Finn is closer to the minimum. That means that minimum is closer to the regular data. So this number 11 is outside. Then we can say the same thing about Jonah's. Jonah's data set has a minimum at 1, which is really far away from the box. Okay, so we want to notice those types of things as well. Okay, so here is a question for you to do. Here's the data that Kono has gotten, and we want to say, what can he say about the 2 data sets? So we have 6th graders and we have 7th graders based on height. Okay, so the median of the 7th grade sample is greater than the median of the 6th grade sample, and the 7th grade sample has greater variability. We look at the box here. So what we do is we first compare medians, and we can see that the 7th grade is higher than the 6th grade, and then we compare the difference in the data. Okay, variability, spread. Okay, so we see the spread is shorter here and longer here. Okay, so there's that. All right, draw inferences using median and interquartile range. Okay, so the first thing we have to talk about is, what does it mean to be the interquartile range? The IQR is the difference from the upper quartile or the upper median minus the lower median. Okay, so we take the upper median, they call it the 3rd quartile, minus the lower median, which is called the 1st quartile. So you can see here we have the 1st quartile is 3.5, the median is 5, the 3rd quartile is 6.5. So 6.5 minus 3.5 gives us the IQR. 8 minus 5.5 gives us the IQR. Okay. So the first thing we notice is Jonah's data set has a higher median. Okay, means they spend more hours on homework each week. The IQR for Finn's data set is greater. So basically we're doing the same question, except now we're naming what that variability or what that spread is. Okay, the difference between the box. It's called the IQR. Okay, so that's what we're doing in this part. All right. All right, part 3. Draw more inferences using measures of center and variability. Okay, so we're looking at this information. This is the height of 2 different rooms, and they're growing plants. Okay, so 7G is growing their plant, and these are the heights of those plants. And 7D is growing plants. So what we see is that the median heights are the same. However, the majority of plants in 7G are taller than they are in 7D. So that means that, okay, so what we notice is that the IQRs are exactly the same. So what it means is that the plants in 7G are growing more, so therefore the conditions in 7G must be better than they are in 7D. Okay, since the plants are growing taller, it must be easier for them to grow in that room than it does in 7D. Okay, so you can remember at any time, pause it, go back, watch it again, whatever. All right, a local recreation center offers a drop-in exercise class in the morning and in the evening. The attendance data for each class over the first month is shown, the box plots below. Okay, it's not at the right. What can you infer about the class attendance? Okay, so we look at the morning. These are the number of people that showed up over a month. Okay, 2 to 8. You can see the median is right here. And then we see the evening class. So what statement can we make about the class attendance? All right, so what we see is that more people prefer to drop into the evening class than the morning class. I think that's pretty clear by looking at the picture. Okay. All right. Last thing, here is your summary of it. We want to look at medians. We want to look at IQR, or the spread of the data, and we want to see what that data looks like. Okay, so we're using some of the tricks that we have learned to be able to help us to do this. Okay, that's the video for lesson 3. Yeah, see ya.